Welcome to a new Daily Top Askreddit video. Today's topic.
What are some disadvantages of being a man? Being the sole man in the office. I'm expected to lift large objects while looking like a buff ass while having noodle arms. It's never brought up that Angela regularly works out and can lift 5 times as much weight as I can. I have a 6 feet 4 inches coworker who is a giant teddy bear. A crazy cracked out guy was in the lobby bathroom and my older female coworker wanted him to go chase the guy out. Big guy was like, hell no, I'm not getting stabbed, call the police. Female coworker was all salty because he was big and male and therefore should have handled the issue. Lady, we have a working relationship with the police. We can call a deputy on their cell phone and they'll be by in 90 seconds. Don't make the animal rescue guy try to fight a meth head. This sounds like a Parks and Rec episode. Being considered a creeper by society while just trying to raise my little girl. Single dad of a daughter. And a really large guy. Hanging around playgrounds while she plays is a fun experience. Or Chuck E. Cheese. The non-existent invitations to playgroups. Oh, and let's not forget the school calling the non-custodial. Doesn't care to see her daughter more than every couple of months mother first about anything. I quit my job and watched my daughter full-time from 5 months to 12 months. There are no daddy and me groups, and you cannot attend most mommy and me groups as a man. There is no support for dads. It's very lonely and hard to make friends with other parents, and it is awkward being the only dad in a group full of moms. People make the dumbest comments like, oh wow, he changes diapers. Like, it's some big deal, but it is just me being a parent. She's a bit older now and doing dance. And will have a recital coming up again. Her mom did dance mom duty last year and was not looking forward to doing it again. I don't want her backstage alone with some strangers, so I said I would do it. We'll see how well that's gonna go over. If someone around me said, oh wow, he changes diapers, and I wasn't in the best mood, I'd say something along the lines of, yep, welcome to the modern world. Women can vote and I can change a diaper. Crazy, isn't it? Oh, and let's not forget the school calling the non-custodial. Doesn't care to see her daughter more than every couple of months mother first about anything. Oh man, picking up my daughter from school always results in the school calling my wife. Or even calling up there to tell them let her know to walk home. They called my wife. One time they even called the teenage niece. But not one time have they called me. There is like societal pressure as a straight man to be the one who goes after a woman, and there is a lot of rejection that goes along with that. And beyond that, men need to pursue but not too much. Be macho yet in touch with a sensitive side. Always be up for sex at the drop of a hat. Last forever and be well endowed. Be a certain height and make enough to provide. It's socially acceptable to tear a man apart for any of these shortfalls. Also, no end in sight for these issues, nor any support system for those that don't fit the design spec. Not to mention it's a double-edged sword. Many women do not like to be approached by men, and it can be perceived as creepy even if it's done in a non-aggressive manner. Having to take the initiative, especially for shy guys. I'm not even shy. A girl came all the way to me in the club and then waited because her friend told her that I'll approach her. My friend later told me that I should have approached her. Bro. Why? Because that's your job. Tears of joy. I'm tired of this BS. If you're interested, just say it, regardless of the gender. There's a great online app for this. It's called Bumble, where women have to make the first move. Except they don't, instead posting Instagram and Snapchat handles saying, message me there. Lack of physical touch when single. The last proper hug I received was around 6 years ago, I think. Edit. Wow. The amount of love I received in just one single comment is heartwarming. Thanks to all those who took their time to comment. To all the women who mentioned they regularly hug their male friends. You are awesome. And your friends are lucky to have you. To all the men who offered me a hug, I genuinely appreciate the sentiment, but that's not exactly what I am looking for. To that one guy who offered to spank my butt and ring my bell. Most definitely not what I am looking for. That's a thing I will miss when I move out from my parents. I really liked getting hugs from my mum when I'm miserable. As an 17Y. Oh. Guy. I try to hug my friends every so often. BCS, I know most of them don't have form of physical affection. And want them to feel appreciated. I always try and hug my friends for both hello and goodbye. Been doing this for 12 years now. They've only just come to accept it really in the last few years. If you are a victim of domestic violence, people won't take it seriously. People don't think that women can be vicious. I had a friend whose pregnant GF started beating the shit out of him for some minor slight. And he had to just take it, or he knew she would call the cops and he would go to jail. His face was a mass of bruises and cuts. Stitches were required. He called the cops for an ambulance because his eyes were nearly swollen shut, and they took him to the police station. She told them he beat her even though she had not a mark on her. He didn't stay long, fortunately. They eventually believed him and took him to the but nothing happened to her. Nothing. And the dumbass took her back. He's not dumb for taking her back. He's brainwashed. It's the abuse cycle. Until you're truly ready to break it, you'll go back to your abuser. You delude yourself into either believe they'll eventually change or that it's somehow your fault. And you deserve it. Either way, the only person who can break that cycle is your friend when he realizes there's a woman out there who will treat him the way he deserves instead of how his abuser does. He'll feel weird and scared about it. He'll have to retrain his brain. He'll need hella therapy to source. I'm an ex-abused male.